Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy.
All right, folks, here we are on Friday, February 16th. We're going to take a look at our old friend SoFi. So SoFi trying to give a little push here off of this recent swing low bottom that came in around 721 or so. Sort of wrestled with that 739 level that we had. Now, I was reluctant to clutter up the chart anymore, but this may not last long. But I thought I would put in, there is this uptrend support that is potentially going to create a wedge here with this downtrend resistance. Now, I do have some questions. This uptrend support, it's not super confirmed. It's held pretty well, but, that's if you stretch it back pretty far. The downtrend resistance has really just confirmed, meaning it, this is the origination point, and then there's one confirmation. So I never feel super confident when something is just confirmed that it's going to hold or it's going to mean anything. But I thought I'd put it in there for now just to see if there is any collision course that's going to happen and any wedging out to either direction that's going to take place. Now, as far as levels go, a basic gist is we have this 847 level that we've had on the chart for a very long time. See, it's done a good job respecting that historically, even here before it gave way, and now it's back up to that level. So put in this little bit of sort of a W formation, and I'm sort of curious to see if it's going to be able to flip that 847 to support, or if it's going to pin itself to it and sort of walk sideways, or of course if it's going to reject off of it. And if it does, it's going to be mighty close to this uptrend support, so it could give that a test sooner than later. Now, if it does continue on, I do have that 911. That is another level that's been on the chart for a very long time, and so I feel pretty confident about it. And we'll see if it can get into there. And then you can see these additional levels up here, basically on the say psychological levels, basically the approach to 950, and then basically, are we going to hold over 10? And if we get past that, we can worry about that then. Like I said, if it does flip and treats this as resistance, coming down 791 or a dip below 8, right? And sort of wondering, are we really going to dip and hold below 8, or are buyers going to come in, push us back up and over that level? And then, of course, you do have this uptrend support that we just spoke about, 739 and basically 699. The question there being, are we really going to get under 7 and hold for any period of time? Now, let's flip over to the Think or Swim study, and we can see what that looks like. Okay, so here is the Think or Swim study. Now, you can see it's sort of mid-range on the channel here on the daily, and it's put in quite a bit of work to even make that happen. So a couple of things have been happening. One, you have this big gap down, stretched down below out of the channel, did some work to get itself back in, big gap up, and got cut off by the upper bound of the channel. And then now it clumped it into this most recent price action, which is basically a valiant effort to try to hold the mid-range of the channel, which for now, it's looking like it's doing it. Put in some action below, got some support on this mid-lower bound of the channel, and then popped itself back up over the mid-range for now. The potentially even better thing that it did with that is it seemed to, so far, die down the bearish momentum on the histogram. So it's sort of flatlined at the baseline right now. It's not really putting in anything super impressive bullish momentum wise. See teeny tiny little upticks there, and then even today getting in a weaker sort of withdrawing candle on the histogram. So we'll see if that has any sticking power or where that wants to go. I would be most interested, this is just a wish list that I'm going to say right now. It's a wish list of two things, basically. One, if it is going to continue to pin to the mid-range of the channel, that's fine. I would love to see it accompany that with a bunch of trigger candles on the TTM squeeze indicator. The last time we got sort of a lengthy-ish trigger was back here, and even then it was just 4. So, that's not really much of anything. However, when it did fire, it did bring the price from about mid-8s, and it just fired and kept drawing down to, the 6s here. So then we didn't get any trigger and fire. That's, led right up to this big move. So, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's an indicator. Nothing is 100%, of course, but like I say, if it's going to pin itself to a mid-range of the channel anyway, I would really love to see it start to trigger there, especially if it does that as it approaches that wedge that we had on the Webull platform. That would be pretty interesting to me. The other thing that I would note is it looks like per market beats, there's about 17% of the short or the free float that's being shorted right now. That's getting quite high. So we'll see if there is any big move that can come, of course, to the upside, if that can sort of draw out any of those short sellers and sort of make it push higher even quicker. Obviously the other end of that coin is they could just drive down the price and put additional pressure on SoFi, which has already had just historically a hard time holding gains and making anything that looks like a sustained reversal possible. All right, folks, I hope that you had a good trading week and that you enjoy your long weekend ahead. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.